This is the second video about this scrap fabric project. I have here the squares for one sleeve, and I'm going to explain how to combine all these squares into one piece. And basically you have two options here. You can sew these together, and these together, so you have 3 pieces, and then you sew this long seam here to combine those 3 pieces. The other option is to sew these together, these and these, and then you need to sew 3 seams, the strips together here, here and here. And the difference between these two options is that if you sew these together this way, you have 2 seams to sew, but you have 3 seams to align. You need to get these aligned so that they don't go this way, and it's harder to do if you have 3 points which to align. So if you sew these together this way, you only have 2 points that need 2 seams that need to be aligned, and it's easier because you only need to worry about getting this distance exactly the same when you sew these together. So once the distance of the seams here is exactly the same in all places, all you need to do when you combine the strips is to align at these points 2 seams. And if this fabric, this edge, if it isn't even, it doesn't matter, because these outer edges will be cut off when you cut the pattern piece. So just 2 points, 2 seams to align is much easier, because if you need to align these 3, you need to be sure that here the distance between the seams is the same, and here, so it's 2 places. Again, the outer edge here and up there, they don't matter. They can be uneven, it doesn't matter, but you need to get these crosses here aligned so they don't go off like this. And it's much easier to do when you only need to worry about 2 seams and not 3. And here is one of the front pieces, and it's only 6 squares, and this is even easier. You sew this, and then when you combine these 2 strips, all you need to do is align the seams here, and no need to worry about the outer edges. You just align the seams and it will be fine. So this is the easiest part, and then, well, the more seams you need to align, the harder it gets. This is the back piece, and it's basically the same as the sleeve piece, same amounts of squares in the same kind of arrangement, just in the other direction. So here I'll be sewing these together, these, and these, and then sewing these seams after the strips are ready. So it's basically the same way as these are sewn together. Here you can see, here these have been sewn first, then pressed, and then this seam, and then pressed. And that's the way it's going to be for this whole piece, only in slightly bigger scale. To get the squares aligned properly, you need to have accurate seam allowances, and to do that you can use these markings on the sewing machine. Like here I have 1 centimeter seam allowances, so it's the line marked with 10 millimeters, that's 1 centimeter. And I always find it hard to see those lines when the fabric is there under the foot, so I usually place a magnet on that 10 millimeter line. Here's a fridge magnet. There are specific magnets for this purpose, for using with sewing machines, but fridge magnet works just as well. And here you can see how to use it. You just keep the fabric edge at the edge of the magnet, and then it goes straight and the seam allowance stays the same the whole way. All the seams are sewn and stitched now, and there are some alignment issues. You really need to measure carefully, first when cutting the squares, and then getting accurate seam allowances when you sew the seams. But there is one in particular which has a different problem, and it's this here. As you can see, it's really misaligned, and I was wondering about this, so I measured, and this is exactly 15 centimeters, and these were originally also the correct measurements, but this piece has been cut diagonally, and that means that this edge has been stretching, and that's why it goes over here. So cutting the fabric diagonally is not a good idea, but in this case, well, I wanted these stripes this way, and I thought it wouldn't be a problem, but as you can see, it is. So when it goes over here, it also goes over here, but this is not a problem. This will be cut off because this is a sleeve, so it'll go from there to here, and there's gonna be quite a bit of this cut off. As you can see, there's another uneven place there, but the outer edges are not a problem. The alignment of the seams is a bit of a problem, but well, this is a practice piece. This entire project is practice, just practicing sewing the seams so that everything aligns, and hopefully it'll get better when I progress in this project, but we'll see. Anyway, this is the first piece ready for cutting the pattern, and I've got quite a lot of more sewing to do, as you can see here. So I think this is going to be a 3-part video. I'm gonna stop here and sew all the other pieces and then make a new video about cutting the pieces and sewing the jacket together.